Major development today in the case against Luigi Mangione, accused in the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
A judge today dismissed the state's terrorism counts, ruling they were legally insufficient. It is a significant shift in one of the most closely watched trials in the state. And it is where our Alice Gaynor was in the courtroom today to witness all of it. Alice?
So now we are down from 11 counts to 9. Mangione's attorneys had asked for those terrorism charges to be dismissed, and a judge agreed, but the judge denied other motions the defense filed. When the 27-year-old walked into the courtroom, he looked quickly at the back row filled with members of the public. Then he stared straight ahead. There were about 70 or so journalists and about 25 members of the public in that courtroom. Luigi Mangione entered the courtroom shackled and in tan prison clothing. The 27-year-old is accused of gunning down UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a Midtown street last December. The judge dismissed counts 1 and 2, murder in the first degree in furtherance of an act of terrorism, and murder in the second degree as a crime of terrorism, as legally insufficient, saying the evidence presented to the grand jury, quote, failed to establish that the defendant committed the crime to coerce or intimidate a civilian population or to influence or affect the policy of a unit of government. Outside, Mangione supporters cheered.
Terrorism charges dropped! They dropped the terrorism charge!
The judge did rule that prosecutors presented legally sufficient evidence of all other counts, though, so the defense's motion to dismiss entirely was denied. The Manhattan DA's office released a statement that reads, quote, we respect the court's decision and will proceed on the remaining 9 counts, including murder in the second degree. The defense also wanted to stay or halt the state proceeding pending the resolution of the federal case, arguing concurrent prosecutions violate the double jeopardy clause, that testifying in the state case may prejudice Mangione during his federal death penalty trial. The judge denied that motion. The defense also wants statements Mangione made to law enforcement suppressed because they allege officers failed to provide Miranda warnings. They want evidence seized at the time of his arrest suppressed because they allege law enforcement did a warrantless search of his backpack. And they don't want non-eyewitness identification testimony at trial, meaning someone who was not a witness to an alleged crime who makes an identification from a picture or video. The judge ordered hearings for all of this on December 1st. Mangione's attorneys left the courthouse swarmed by his supporters. They did not comment. If convicted on the top charge, Mangione faces 25 years to life behind bars. The other counts against him include weapons and forged instrument charges. Dick, Christine?
Alice, it sounds like today's hearing was fairly brief. And I know I asked you yesterday whether or not if a judge could actually set a trial date. He didn't do that, right?
He didn't. That's right. So the hearing itself was less than 20 minutes because the judge laid out his ruling in a written 12-page decision. So he just summarized it really quick during court today. And he can't set that trial date yet until they have these hearings on those outstanding issues, those motions the defense is requesting. So once they do that, then they'll be able to proceed with more scheduling for the trial.
All right, understood. Thank you, Alice.
Thanks, Alice. And there is a filing deadline regarding Mangione's federal death penalty case coming up at the end of this week. In November, Mangione has a court appearance in Pennsylvania where he was arrested. Keep it here with CBS News New York for continuing coverage.